Parents, if you're here, you may be wondering if your child is highly sensitive. As a coach for parents of highly sensitive children, I am here to help you understand the signs of sensitivity so you can support your child in the best way possible. Every child is unique, but let's explore some of the traits that can set highly sensitive children apart. Let's go through 7 signs that your child might be highly sensitive. So highly sensitive kids can feel emotions really deeply. This might look like crying more easily than other kids, but it can also look like shutting down their emotions more easily. Either way, sensitive kids get upset really easily. And it's not just upset for themselves, but they're deeply affected by other people's emotions too, and can be really affected when other people are hurt. These kids are typically more affected by sensory stuff than other kids. Loud noises, strong smells, how bright the lights are. This might show up as picky eating, picky about the comfort of the clothing. It also can show up as being overstimulated by all the noise and chaos, and that overstimulation shows up as tantrums and meltdowns. Is your child more easily overwhelmed by chaotic, stimulating environments? Birthday parties, the mall. Overstimulating places can cause kids to withdraw, to feel anxious, or to become hyper-stimulated and they can't calm themselves down. Highly sensitive kids are so affected by their environment when they're in one of these chaotic, high-stimulation places, it takes them a very, very long time for their nervous system to come back down to normal. This might look like having trouble sleeping, irritability, tantrums, meltdowns, fear of failure, perfectionism. Is your child hesitant to try new things because they hate making mistakes? They hate being bad at things? Highly sensitive kids can have a really strong inner critic where they cannot tolerate being corrected or being less than competent. They feel so much pressure to get it right off the bat. And when they are not good at it off the bat, they can get really discouraged and not want to try new things. Is your kid really perceptive? Do they notice when you're upset about the littlest things, even when you haven't said anything? These kids notice little things in the environment that have changed. They notice the minute that our emotions switch. It takes sensitive kids a longer time to adjust to change. Change isn't easy for anyone, but for sensitive kids, their nervous system goes on high alert with changes, and it takes a very long time for that to come back to normal. Things like moving, having a new sibling, starting a new school, all of these are major changes for kids, and it can take highly sensitive kids a long, long time for their nervous system to come back to normal. In response to changes, they may show separation anxiety, fears about other things. They may be irritable, having more meltdowns. All of these are signs that your child is having a tough time adjusting to change. Is your child a really deep thinker? Do they ask deeper questions than most kids would? Do they think about things on a deeper level? Sometimes this means that they are deep in their own world of processing and thinking things through. When we ask them a question, they may be processing at such a deep level that it can take them a while to answer things. Does any of this sound like your child? You may be raising a highly sensitive child. About 15 to 20% of kids are highly sensitive. What can you do as a parent to make your life easier and your child's life easier? We want to create supportive environments where we celebrate your child's traits and characteristics and sensitivity. We want to understand what's challenging for your child so we can support them. Child sensitivity is a strength, not a weakness. When we understand sensitivity, we can support it better. If you want to learn how to support your highly sensitive child better, subscribe, and there's a link in the description to get my free guide, Debunking the Myths of Parenting a Highly Sensitive Child. It can seem challenging when you're trying to figure out how to support your child best. You don't have to do this alone. Thanks for listening.